by the end of this video, you're going to understand how to use all of the key features, including some advanced ones that most people miss, inside Lovable, so you can build your project and do things like connect it to a backend, sync it with GitHub, and also publish your app. The first thing to know is this button down here. So this means that you can chat without making edits to your project. So think of it as asking the AI questions and collaborating with the agent in order to create plans and strategies, and also how to use the tool. So if you toggle this on, it's not going to make any edits to the code. And we're actually going to use this one later to use another tool as well. Now, one thing I really like about Lovable is this edit feature. So if you click the edit button here, you can select or edit or ask Lovable to modify a specific element of your website or app. Now, there is one caveat to this. So let's say if we click on this heading here and we want to change the text. We can't do that here because you can only do it with static text. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. However, we can change things like the color, the font size, the font weight, margins and paddings. We can also align it left, we can align it center, and you can see that's actually changed that because we need to go back and change the size. So let's say we want this size. We're now happy with this. We can click save. Now clicking back on the edit, we can click the paragraph text, and this is where you can actually just change the copy within this box here. But this is also useful for choosing an element, for example, this element, and then asking Lovable to modify this so it knows exactly what you are referencing. If we go to the top of the Lovable editor, we have this button here, which is Supabase. Now, Supabase is a platform where you can build apps with authentication, data storage, and backend capabilities. So if you want to include login and logout features, if you want to have data like an app has in the backend, then you'll need Supabase or another integration similar. Additionally, if you want to be able to use APIs, you'll need Supabase too. So in order to get connected with this, all you need to do is connect Supabase, click this button here, and I'll link to a video that goes through this step by step. Now, as we open this, we actually open the project settings where we can manage things like domains. So we can connect a domain that we have or even buy a domain as well. If you don't want to have a subdomain on Lovable, instead you can connect your own domain using the instructions here. Now, we're going to come back to this in a moment and look at these next three buttons before looking at the knowledge. Now, this button is GitHub, and this means that you can sync your project in a way where it's going to take the code from here, sync it to GitHub, and then you can take the GitHub code and use another platform such as Cursor or Windsurf. And we've actually got a video of going back and forth between the different tools to show you how you can vibe code using different tools with GitHub being the sync. Now, this button allows you to invite other people to work on the project with you. So if you want to invite a developer, or if you have a friend who wants to help you with this, you can send them the invite and they'll have access to the same project. And then this button up here is simply to publish your app. And all you need to do here is click publish to do that. Now, going back over here, we can go back into settings and we can have something here called knowledge. So this is a really interesting feature that not a lot of people know about. And it's to have the guidelines and context to do things like have specific rules and guidelines for your project, including coding style preferences. And that's what we're going to do next, because we're actually going to click the chat and say, could you help me come up with a custom knowledge for this project? Ask me any questions you need to know. And what it's done is it's listed some questions here in terms of target audience, newsletter content, and also brand guidelines. So this is something that you can then put this in back here. So that will give you what you need to add to that knowledge. Now, the main Lovable feature is the agent chat down here when you want to make any updates to your website or app. Now, I've got a prompt here that just says, could you make it much more modern and add in cool design elements? I'm excited to see what it comes up with. And if you're ever in doubt about how best to use this, then just go to chat and ask Lovable how to move forward. Now, there's one last thing I want to show you, which is this button here, where you can view what you've built in a new tab. And this just allows you to look at it on your browser without getting distracted by the other elements on the page. And this button here shows you what it looks like on mobile. So that is an overview of how to use Lovable. Before you go, be sure to watch another tutorial on Lovable on our channel so that you can go more into depth about how to build apps, including how to connect to the OpenAI image API. And then click the link in the description to go to this page where, after entering your email address, you can get 59 AI startup ideas that you can start today, including the AI APIs you should use, detailed business idea descriptions, and these are ideas that you can build on Lovable. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.